Hello and welcome back to episode 5 of the podcast.
Episode 5.
Yep, watching the fro grow day by day. And I've also stopped shaving, too. I ran out of razor blades.
Fun.
Finally, so I'm going to look real scruffy here soon.
Nice.
Yeah.
Definitely needed to know that.
So, on today's episode, Noah's going to be interviewing me.
I am.
Because I think it's important that you all know what your host is like, and
Hosts, excuse me, you've just already interviewed me. So
we've Noah has already been interviewed, so he's gonna be. I'm gonna be run through the gauntlet. He's gonna be asking me those hard questions. So, Noah, what is our word for today? You generated it.
I did generate it. It is boundless, which I think is pretty good because you are a pretty diverse person, I guess, would be a pretty good word. You have
boundless.
Lots of hobbies. So start off by telling us about list off your 3 main hobbies. I said 3. for reference, I'm holding up 4 fingers. Oh,
yeah, you're good. So right off, I'm just gonna start with one that you all know about, which is filming. Then I kind of consider weightlifting to be, well, it's a sport, but I kind of also consider it to be a hobby. And then I really, really like studying history. And so there's 3 things that
3 very different hobbies.
Yeah, and that's not even going into like the outdoorsy stuff that I love doing.
Or woodworking.
Yeah,
building.
I'm a gardener. I do construction, all sorts of fun stuff. So yeah, I got a lot of stuff that I do.
So you mentioned filming, videography first, and you have actually made some money off of that. So can you tell us a little bit about that experience?
Okay, yes, definitely. So with filming, I started a business actually. I not official. I wasn't doing taxes or anything for it, but I advertised myself as a business. Like a year and a half ago, 2 years ago. And I just tried to get any old random job, and I started this business because I loved filming. I still do love filming, and it's a lot of fun. And I thought, well, if I'm going to have all this equipment, I might as well make some money off of it. And so I've had some fun experiences. My favorite shoot I've ever done was a cow farm. I was doing ads for a cow farm, which does exist. Somebody needs to film those, those burn dairy ads. Somebody needs to film those meat farm ads. And I did one of those. I did some promo videos for this cow farm. And so I was lying out in the field with the cows, and they're like huge cows, and they're super gentle. And they're just all around me. I have my camera out.
Lying in the field with cows. Sounds like your natural habitat to me. Here we see Leif in his natural habitat, lying in a field with cows. And his camera.
Yeah. No, and most of my shoots have been filming stage performances. And so ballets, more ballets. And another ballet.
Some musical theater performances, too.
Yeah.
Our own musical theater performances.
Yep. No,
Just set it up.
And
basically it was good to go.
Let it rip. No, the funniest experience I had was filming a ballet. And I was in the ballet, actually, at one point. Guys, I do ballet. Well, I did. A little bit. And I was filming it, but I had 2 scenes in it. So I had to run around out of the auditorium, in through the back, get into my costume, get out, on stage, do my scene, get back to my camera, check if everything's running fine. I was also helping with audio too that time. My sisters were doing audio for that, and lights. So much, a lot of work goes into that filming. Man, I mean, you got a lot to do. Especially stage performances. I find those they're fun to do, but I'm kind of glad I've stopped doing them so much because I just found them kind of stressful. Because you're like, what if my SD card fails? And then I have hours and hours of footage that is gone.
Well, it's kind of the same way with photography, and actually that same performance that you were in, One of my cards actually filled up, and I didn't yet have a dual card slot camera.
Ooh.
And so I actually missed one of the dances, and it was rehearsal, luckily, so I offered for them to go through it again and I could shoot it because I had missed it.
Yeah.
So speaking of mistakes like that, have you ever made any big mistakes while filming something?
Okay, so probably my biggest whoops was I was filming a presentation on taxes, submit property taxes. It was basically how to get out of property taxes. It's actually quite interesting. Anyhow, my audio recorder, for some reason, wasn't working that day, and I didn't know that, and it didn't record. And that's what I had my microphone hooked up to that was close to the speaker. And now I'm stuck with audio going through my camera. And that was a very scary moment for me because I'm like, this can't be posted anywhere because it's so bad. Luckily, who I was filming it for wasn't going to post it anywhere, just wanted to watch it back to improve his presentation skills. So it was usable.
Good.
But that was a scary moment when I realized my audio files just weren't there.
Yeah. And that actually happened. A similar thing happened to us when we were just filming a YouTube video.
Oh, yeah.
Your audio recorder freaked out. But yeah, I feel like it's always good when you're filming, if you're filming with an external audio recorder, to also have a mic on top of your camera, just in case the audio recorder doesn't work for some reason.
Oh, yeah, and pipe the audio straight through the audio recorder if you can to the camera if you have two inputs.
And monitor the levels.
Oh, yeah,
with
always monitor.
Yeah, definitely.
That can really get you because you can't see audio. But, yeah, so I've done quite a bit in filming. Kind of random. Kind of like your photography.
Yeah,
a little bit random.
Odd jobs here and there, basically. Yep. That's kind of how people just have to start out with a business.
Oh, yeah.
Especially when it's a service like photography or video. So then you also mentioned weightlifting. So sticking to the word boundless, let's move on from that subject. How long have you been weightlifting for?
Ooh, since I could walk. So that's like, how young do you walk? Like 2?
Sometimes it varies.
I know I was kind of early walking, like, but yeah, basically since I could walk. And I haven't been competing for nearly as long. I started competing 4 or 5 years ago. Is when I did my first competition, and since then I've done quite a few competitions.
Yeah, you have quite a few medals.
Yeah, they actually used to be hanging up right behind me, but I moved them to the gym.
Yeah. Home gym.
Oh yeah, home gym. I hate lifting in other gyms. I can't do it. No. I like my own personal space, my own bar, my weights.
Your own music.
Oh, yeah.
I
blast my own music, and that I get kicked out of a regular gym for.
Yeah.
So, yeah, weightlifting has been an integral part of my life since I was really young. And I find it's a little bit more than just competing. Like, I mean, obviously health and fitness, you're weightlifting.
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah, a little bit.
I'm still super skinny.
Hey, you're not as skinny as you were a year ago.
No.
Yep.
So, in weightlifting, what would you consider to be your best lift, and how much can you lift in that lift? Okay,
so probably percentage-wise, my best lift is the clean and jerk, and that's from the ground to my shoulders, then overhead. And that I did 125 kilos, which is
roughly 270 pounds.
Yeah, roughly 270 pounds. So yeah, that's my best lift.
Nice,
percentage wise.
Well, I don't want to go too far into weightlifting because next week's episode we're actually talking about fitness.
Yes.
And I'm sure you'll have quite a bit to contribute to that talk. So then your other hobby that you mentioned was History, thank you. So what's your favorite era of history to study?
So I actually like very recent history. I particularly like the collapse of the Soviet Union. I actually wrote a paper on it this semester. I find that very fascinating. And then kind of a very weird other topic that I like is ancient Greece and Italy. So Roman era. And those are the two areas that I really like to study.
Yeah, I don't like history that much, but for some reason, ancient Greece, and especially Greek mythology, I really enjoy.
I think anybody can enjoy Greek mythology. It's so complex, so diverse, and boundless. And it actually, it's very much like a lot of the stories we have today that, fiction stories. Who's the author who wrote them all into modern fiction books?
Rick Riordan.
Yeah, there you go. He took all of the Greek gods,
Norse gods, Egyptian gods,
Roman gods, and made books out of them in a modern way. So there's a lot.
Super cool.
Yeah.
I used to be really good at Greek mythology trivia, but I haven't actually read much Greek mythology for several years, so it's kind of all trickled out.
Yeah.
Slowly.
I'd be okay at it. I didn't do a ton of mythology. I like studying governments, honestly. Sorry, guys, if you're hearing crashing, that's my dad weightlifting downstairs.
Or your sister.
Actually, yeah, probably my sister. But yeah, I find that when you look at history close enough, and it doesn't even have to be that close, you really see some patterns that kind of come out, and that's why I enjoy studying it. So, for instance, 100 years ago, we had a Great Depression. Look where we're at now. I understand the causes are much different, but
I think it's not technically a depression yet. I think it's still a recession.
It's just a recession. We have to have, what is it?
Some consecutive years of decline.
Yeah, I think it's that.
Maybe it's several months. I don't remember off the top of my head. I knew at one point.
I think it's over a year of steady decline, or staying really low.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, history is one of the very important things that I am studying, and I'm actually going to school studying international studies. So that's politics, history, government.
So you're not going for physical development?
No.
You changed your mind so much.
I know.
You were going to go straight into the army. Well, first you were going to get a degree at the community college. Then you were going to go straight into the army. Then you were going to go to Cortland for physical development. Yeah. Now you're going to Cortland still for international studies.
Yeah.
And I think I'm missing a few mind changes in there, but that's the gist of it.
I think there were like 3 majors in there. I don't know. Hey, I went to college when I was 16, so you know what? I got time to figure myself.
I beat you. I started at 15. So
I started at 14.
With online.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Anyways.
Yeah.
So recently you found that you really like working with audio, which is one of the reasons that you started this podcast. So can you talk a little bit about your transition from mostly video to a little bit more of the audio realm?
Definitely. So the reason I got into this was because I was editing a video and I didn't quite like how the audio sounded, so I went on YouTube. And I found a video. It was EQing your audio, basic stuff. And I thought it was kind of interesting. So I opened up Adobe Audition, which I had on my computer. I just never really used. And I started exploring it. I'm like, wow, this can do a lot. And then I remembered that my sister has a mixer, a microphone, all the recording kit that you need to get started for music or podcasts. And so I thought, I'll give it a try. And I recorded some voiceover puppet animations. So I made an animated puppet on the computer and did some voiceovers there. And I enjoyed editing the audio. The interesting thing about audio is since it's not visual. I mean, you can use the like the waveforms to see words, individual words, and you actually get good at that. I can pick out words like the or and or when I'm editing, but I enjoy it because I don't have to stare at something. I can just sit there and play it back a few times. I can listen to it. I can I feel like I can be a little more creative with it than with some of the videos, because on YouTube especially, I mean, I'm not saying you can't be creative on YouTube, but there's definitely a standard of how your video should look. I think you'd agree with me.
I don't know about a standard. I would say that there's a certain expectation of quality, but
yeah, okay.
But after that, I think it's really up to the creator.
Yeah. So I enjoy audio because I feel like it's a little bit simpler than video.
Well, yeah, because in video you have video and audio. It's kind of 3-dimensional almost, whereas the audio is a little more 2-dimensional.
Yeah. And since I'm still playing around with all this stuff, you'll probably hear the quality of these podcasts change a bit, hopefully for the better.
Yeah.
Not declining.
Right, right.
But there will be a difference there. So, audio is also very important in video, as you should know if you're into video. And it also allowed me to improve my video, because I was seeing my videos that I was creating, and they were, decent. But when we improved our audio quality on our YouTube channel, views went up, subscribers went up, everybody.
I wouldn't say it was dramatic. Right now we're seeing a little bit more of a dramatic curve.
Yeah.
But yeah, it definitely helped a lot.
Oh yeah, because if you watch something with bad audio, you can't.
Yeah.
You're not going to be able to make it through. So, yeah, that's why I got into audio, and that's why I really like it.
Cool. I didn't prepare another question. Let me think. So then you also mentioned that you do a lot of outdoorsy stuff like gardening and construction. And you do that for money, I happen to know.
Yeah.
For other teenagers or people looking to get odd jobs like that to increase their income a little bit, can you talk about how to find those connections?
Yeah, definitely, because that can be hard for people. So I'm going to go with your pretty average person here to start off with, like, lives in a neighborhood. So if you live in a neighborhood, your target employer, you're going to want to focus on somebody who's a little bit older, who doesn't want to get out to do the gardening or to mow the lawn or to paint the porch, whatever it is. And I would just honestly go up to that person and say, hey, I'm willing to do lawn mowing, odd jobs, whatever it is, gardening, mulching, the works, for however much per hour. When you're first starting out, just go minimum wage. I know New York minimum wage is like $11.40 something an hour.
Is it really that high now?
Yeah, it is.
Last I knew it was quite a bit lower.
No, well, national minimum wage is $7 something an hour.
Oh, okay.
Dude, I make way more than that.
Yeah.
But you can start out kind of low. Get a few people, a little bit of a customer base who's utilizing your services.
Yeah.
And very, very important is always make whatever you do look good. It has to be functional, but it also has to look really good, because people are super visual.
Yeah.
And if you do a really good job on your first job, you're going to get tons of people asking, oh, can you come over and trim my hedge or whatever it is.
Yeah, that's the other thing is, especially with older people, they know a lot of other people who want the same stuff done. So if you can land a job with somebody, then they'll often, and you do a good job, then they'll often start recommending you to other people, and you can slowly increase your wages a little bit. And I think that what you say, just going up to people and saying outright, hey, I do this, would you be able to utilize that service?
Yeah.
Is key. You need that confidence. What's the worst that can happen? They say, no, sorry, but I don't have any need for that.
I mean, when I was 10, I was going door to door, like, can I shovel your driveway? And most of the time I got rejected, but some people are like, oh, here's $10, shovel the front, and off you go. And so it just is about confidence and landing that first job. I'm turning down jobs now because I cannot do that much gardening. And I'm at a point where I can choose my wages almost, because people know that that I do good work, and that I'm in demand. So I'll make anywhere from, right now what I usually work at is $15 an hour for gardening. And then on up to a project we did together, $20 an hour.
$22 an hour.
$22 an hour, yeah.
It was really hard work, but it was worth it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So for the audience, if you're interested in this kind of stuff, whether it's gardening, whether it's construction, whether it's video, whether it's photo, you want to earn money, especially for you teens, we will actually soon, starting this coming school year, we'll have the summer to prep, we'll be starting another podcast called Teen Entrepreneurship, where we talk about increasing your income, or even starting to have an income as a teenager and being able to find jobs like that.
Yeah, and then also the nitty-gritty about, like, legal aspects and taxes, because sometimes you run into that. Like, I ran into somebody who wanted to report this as a business expense. Well, now all of a sudden, I have to do this on my tax returns, and I have to pay taxes on this work. And so, there's a lot involved there, and it can be complicated, but with these podcasts we'll be coming out with, we can clear it all up for you, and next summer you can be on your way making bank. Yeah,
we'll be talking about all sorts of stuff: starting business, maintaining a business, finding customers. A whole bunch of stuff. So definitely stay tuned for that. But back to interviewing you, Leaf. What are your plans for the summer? It's kind of a random question, but
well, I think it's gonna be an interesting answer. So, a lot of work. As I said, I'm kind of booked up. I got tons of work all over the place. And with that money I'm going to be earning, I'm going to be buying a new computer.
Nice.
And so, probably building a system. And then also, I got to get insurance paid for my car and all that fun stuff. And also, since I'm going into the Army, I'm doing a little more training in running.
Oh.
Because, I got to get my mile time down. But again, next week, we're going to be talking about that.
Fitness, yeah.
Yeah, about fitness.
So you just mentioned two very key things. First, you're going into the Army. And second of all, that you're saving up for a computer, not for college. So can you talk a little bit about your plans for college and thereafter?
Yes. Okay. So in college, mostly obviously there to learn, but to get my degree. At the end of the day, we go to college to get a degree. That's why we go there. And in college, I'm going to be joining the Army ROTC program. That's Army Reserves Officer Training. And then I'll be a part of the Army Reserves while I'm in college. And once I get out, I will get a position as an officer, and I'll serve for 4 years active. I'll have to look at the contract. I don't know the exact contract I'd be signing, but yeah, so during college, I'll be in the Army, and after college, I'll be in the Army too as an officer. But another thing I want to do in college is study abroad, because my major requires that you are fluent in a language by the time you graduate. Or you take a certain number of language classes at a 300 level. I would like to be fluent in Spanish. So obviously I've been working on Spanish quite a bit. And I would like to go to Spain. I want to study abroad in Spain for a semester, because there's no better way to learn a language than to be completely immersed in
the culture.
Yeah, in the culture. And just hearing that language all the time.
Yeah.
And so one of the semesters at college, I will most likely be studying abroad in either Puerto Rico or Spain, which will be amazing. I would love to go to Spain, since I like studying European history, and there's so much cool history in Spain. Like all the murdering and the killing and the religious wars. It's so fun. You know.
Let me pause real quick.
So, Spain. if I make it to Spain,
Mm-hmm.
I will be. It's gonna be interesting because all my classes will be in Spanish.
Nice.
um, so I'm
Start
gonna have.
using those flashcards.
Oh yeah, no. Learning a language is interesting because Spanish I can read in Spanish.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not
Well,
fast at it.
yeah.
I mean,
Well,
I'm
you're not fast at any reading.
Yeah, I'm not fast at any reading. So I can read it. I can understand some, but it's so weird to start forming sentences and speaking in it. I mean, you know,
Yeah,
you did
yeah,
Spanish.
definitely. I did 6 weeks of Spanish, condensed. So it was a semester of Spanish. But it was a condensed course, so it was 6 weeks long. But then I was actually going to Mexico for the second half of it, so I had about 4 weeks to learn all that material. And then I was in Mexico, but I didn't really have that much of a chance to utilize the Spanish because it was a mission trip.
Yeah.
So all that information's just kind of gone now because I didn't use it.
Yeah, no, if you don't use it, you lose it. And so with Spanish, I've been practicing. I'll text my cousin Aaron. He was on the first episode. If you want to hear that episode.
It's not our best episode,
yeah.
but it was our first, so we were still finding our footing.
Yeah,
still are, even.
Yeah, no, still trying to find the flow of this.
Yeah.
But, where was I? Spanish, texting Aaron. Yes. Texting with people in another language actually helps you learn that language pretty decently. Yeah, that's a great way to learn how to read the language quickly and basic understanding. So I've been doing a lot of that. Rosetta Stone, trying to talk a little bit of Spanish, use Spanish words in my day-to-day because my dad, my brother, and one of my sisters all are learning Spanish too.
Yeah.
So
I should hop on this train, you know? I'm going to Mexico again this summer.
yeah.
I should make those flashcards, brush up my Spanish.
Yeah.
But yeah, you were talking about how you're going to the army, and how you're saving up for a computer. So I think what you forgot to mention is that the army's actually paying for your college, right?
Yes. I'm not paying for college. The army's paying for it. So I don't have to be in any debt, which is really, really nice.
Definitely.
The first year, this coming year, since I will have to pay for some, but then once I get out, if there's any debt that I have from college, the army will just wipe it away.
Nice.
Up to $60,000 if I keep my grades good.
So what position in the army are you going into?
So, in the army, I will be an officer. Now, for those who are unfamiliar with the ranking system in the army,
Like I was until you enlightened me.
yes, not many people do. It's really convoluted. It's very medieval. It's stupid. So you have two different ranking scales. You have enlisted soldiers and you have officers. And enlisted soldiers, technically, the highest ranking enlisted soldier still ranks lower than the lowest ranking officer. Even though your highest, what is it? Something commander of the army. I can't remember what the position is. He has like probably 40 years of experience, and your little butter bar, your second lieutenant has no experience in the field, just college. So it's kind of a little bit of a convoluted system. Obviously, there are checks and balances in there in the modern army that prevent an idiot from commanding a bunch of men and getting them slaughtered. But I'd be going in as an officer, and this means you're more administrative. So you'd be doing more organizing of people, organizing of stuff. So, for instance, one position as an officer is you could be an ordnance officer, and they just organize explosives and get them to where they need to be. Now, how you get a position as an officer, like which area you will be an officer in, is random. Well, kind of. They can throw you wherever you want, technically. However, if you have good grades and they like what you've been doing before you come in as an officer, you have a better chance of getting the position you want. So, for instance, I want to go into civil affairs. Now, civil affairs has a shortage of officers. So I'll probably get the position if I ask for it. However, if you want to be artillery, or infantry, everybody wants to be an infantry officer who is coming out of college. So you probably won't get that position unless you're coming out of West Point with a 4.0 GPA and all sorts of other nice stuff to your name. So I can probably get the position I want, but there are many people who won't, who'll be stuck in places where they don't want to be. Now, if you're enlisted, you get to pick your job and you sign a contract and you're like, that's all I can do. The Army can't force you. So yeah, that's a little bit of a rundown of how our military works for those who don't know.
Well, we've kind of gone all over the place here, boundless.
Yeah.
So let's take it back to video for a little bit to stick a little bit more to a certain theme.
Definitely.
So you started a video business,
Yes.
which is called Capture the World Productions, right? And you said you've had a variety of odd jobs, like filming presentations, stage performances,
Yes.
presentations. Did I say that already? I think I did.
Yeah.
Cow ads.
Yeah.
All sorts of stuff. So, in general, maybe not even in a professional application, what's your favorite thing to shoot video of?
Ooh. I'm going to sound like the basic YouTuber here, but I honestly like filming adventure. Like exploring stuff, spelunking, diving, anything. If it's outdoor, you're exploring, there's action. I love filming that, and I love editing that. That's tons of fun. And you could see that in my old YouTube videos where I mostly posted exploring videos.
Well, actually, you can't because you deleted the channel.
Exactly, yeah.
If you want to see those, then they will be Patreon exclusive.
Yes.
So if you want to support us on Patreon, even just $1 a month helps, then click the link down below. Also, if you have any questions, comments, suggestions for the show or about the show, then you can email us at ctwmailbox@gmail.com. But this is not the end of the episode. Let's get back to what you were saying. You like filming, exploring stuff. You like editing that stuff too. So what's your favorite, or what video are you most proud of that's in that genre?
I really liked a video. I mean, I'm proud of it now. I know it's not good, but I'm proud that I made it when I did it. Look, it's good for the time. It's a video of Brown Tract Pond when I was up in the Adirondacks, and cliff jumping, and diving, all sorts of water activities. And I was really proud of that one.
Was this the first one you posted on that channel, or was it the one that was just the other year, 1 or 2 years ago?
Is the most recent one.
Okay, yeah. That was a really good video. I liked that a lot.
It was the one where I did a front flip over Aaron doing a backflip off the rock. That was a ton of fun.
Yeah, that was a really cool video.
Yeah.
That one did pretty well too, I remember.
Yeah.
Had an above average amount of views for the time.
Yeah, which probably meant like 100.
Yeah, probably.
So yeah, that's where I enjoy filming.
So what about outside that genre? Are there any particular videos that you are particularly proud of?
Yes, it's actually a video on this channel. It's the juggling video.
Oh yeah, from last summer.
Yeah, Jack of all juggling, I think it was.
Yeah, something like that. I was the talent.
Yep.
And that was posted last summer. Was that the first or second video on this channel?
It was the first video on this channel, I'm pretty sure.
We need to redo that video sometime soon.
Oh, I'd love to, because
I'm getting my new lens soon. We can do that. We can do a parkour video again for old time's sake.
Yeah.
I'll be the talent in both.
Watch us absolutely kill ourselves on a parkour course.
No, these will be good. These will be good.
No, I really enjoyed filming the juggling, and I feel like it turned out pretty good. I
definitely
messed around with some different camera techniques.
Yeah, there were a few things that I didn't like quite. There are a few things I think could have been improved on, is what I'm trying to say. For one thing, my hair. No, I'm kidding. For one thing, color grade. And some of the shots, like that one where I was doing the cigar box juggling, and we switched angles every time I did a different move. But the lighting changed a little too much, so it didn't look totally seamless.
We'd need to do it middle of the day, out in a sunny field.
Well, it was cloudy, so it meant even lighting, but where we did it, there was a tree, so that had a little more shade.
Yeah.
And from one angle, I was a little more backlit than the opposite. So,
Mm-hmm.
anyways, how long have you been doing YouTube for? And therefore, how long have you been doing video for?
Well, the second point I'll get to in a minute. I've been doing YouTube since 2016.
2016. You would have been 14. I think it was a little bit earlier than that. 'Cause I
2015?
would have been.
Oh yeah, because it was before the 2016 election, so it would have been 2015, I think.
2015 or 2014 even. Because
Yeah.
I think I started my channel,
NVH
my first
the
channel,
Ninja.
NVH the Ninja.
No, that was 2014. That was.
I thought that was 2013. I thought I was, wait, 2013. No, I would have been, no, that was 2014 because I was 10.
Yeah, you were 10. Oh gosh, do you
So,
have any
yeah.
of those old videos?
I do have some of them.
The
Not
Ninja
the
Mask
oldest.
video?
The Ninja costume video, yeah.
Yeah.
That one has like 17,000 views or something now. But it was like one of my worst videos.
Oh,
It's funny how that happens.
yeah. Well, I posted a video about a computer, and it was really crappy, but I got
Yeah. 800 views?
No, it was in the thousands, multiple
Oh.
thousands of views.
Nice.
Which was really weird, but
Mhm.
people needed to get their computer content. So about that second point, how long have I been doing video? That's actually been for a really long time. Ever since I was like 6.
Are you thinking of our home movies? Or
No. I'm thinking
earlier?
about.
Oh, it would have been earlier than that. So.
Yeah, basically whenever I was able to get my hands on a
Mm-hmm.
camera, a really early example of something I did was this video where I was doing this first person, and it was a chase through the woods. And so I'd pretend to be like, I forget what it was some monster chasing somebody through the woods, and I held the camera and I'd run through the woods and I'd make weird noises, and then I'd do the person view running and like screaming, and then I edit it together in like, what was the
Windows Movie Maker.
Yeah, Windows Movie Maker.
I don't think I ever even heard about that.
No,
Do
yeah.
you still have this video?
I don't know.
We'll look for it, and if we find it, then we'll put it on Patreon for our supporters.
Oh yeah, definitely.
That must be hilarious.
Oh, it's great.
Oh gosh.
And there was tons of other stuff. I would grab a camera.
Mhm.
Some of my friends in Beeville. I filmed some of our baseball games.
Mhm.
Yeah, so I've been doing filming for a really, really long time.
Mhm.
And YouTube is just when I started posting that content.
Yeah. And of course, those videos were bad, so were mine were worse. But
I
you
don't know
gotta
about
start
that.
somewhere. Well, I don't remember if I ever posted it or not. If I did, I think I deleted it. I can look it up quickly here. But there was this one kind of phase I was going through where I wanted to make some kind of like almost like a TV show, like story-oriented videos.
Yeah.
So I made this series. I think I literally called it the Rock series, where I would go around pretending to be a ninja, fighting these monsters to collect these precious, in air quotes, rocks. Because I had these polished rocks. But it was only me. I was just fighting the air. This was really early on.
No, yeah,
This must have been around, I was probably 11 or 12 years old. So that's interesting. Yeah. I don't think I've actually ever like spoken that information aloud. It was bad.
we all have our bad moments in YouTube. We all do.
No, it looks like I deleted those, thankfully.
That was a wise decision.
Yeah. The oldest videos I have on this channel only go back 4 years.
Yeah, you were doing YouTube.
I was doing YouTube
before
for
that.
like 3 years before that.
Yeah.
Yeah, those were interesting videos.
They were
Bad.
Yeah.
Really bad.
Well, see, you know why my videos technically, you could say they technically were better quality? Because I had access to a decent 1080p camcorder.
Yeah. I didn't have anything like that for a long time. I was stuck on this old hand-me-down. As I kind of talked about the other week, camera, it was a point and shoot. It probably shot 480p video at most.
Yeah.
And then I upgraded, Actually, from the hand-me-down camera to the Lumix, there was actually a camera in between that.
I remember the frame rates were inconsistent.
Yeah, so it was it was a cheap. Well, not to me. It was like $120.
Yeah.
It was a camcorder, third party. It shot 1080p video, but it shot in inconsistent frame rate. So it would say it was shooting in 24p, but then when you look at the file, it would say like 22.94 frames a second, but it varied throughout the video. So the audio kept desyncing, resyncing, and there was no way to fix it.
Yeah, I remember that, watching your videos and wondering what
I don't actually know what ended up happening to that camera. I honestly cannot remember if I returned it or if...
I think you returned it.
I must have returned it.
But it was some cheesy Chinese knockoff brand, like...
Well, I think the
Happy Vision.
I think the review of it is still on my old channel.
No way.
Yeah, let's see. Yep, here it is. Power Lead Night Vision 24 megapixel HD
Power
camera.
Lead.
I remember being so blown away with it because it had like a remote to go with it to control it.
Yeah.
That video got 1.5k views.
What?
Oh my gosh.
No.
The production quality is awful.
Yeah, it's up on the screen.
Okay. Anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oof.
Yeah, you gotta start somewhere with video, photo, whatever you're doing, even gardening.
Mm-hmm.
You have to start somewhere.
No, yeah, you gotta start somewhere with everything. And with YouTube, we really we posted a lot of garbage.
We posted a lot of garbage, but you have to get through that garbage to get anything decent.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I'm sure some people even think that this podcast, whether it's the audio quality, video quality, or content is cheesy and bad. We'll probably look back at it in a few years.
Yeah.
And, oh my gosh, what were we doing?
Yeah, we always look back at what we've done and cringe at it.
Yeah.
Because I remember watching a video that I made that I knew I was super impressed about, and I didn't watch it in like a year, and then I went back and I watched it. Ooh.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. We should actually do a video soon for Capture the World Productions where we react to our old videos. We did that for Anything Cameras.
Yeah.
But those videos were very different. And I think that we could get some laughs out of our old videos from our personal channels.
So people listening, if you're not seeing a consistent, like obviously it's an interview about me. So basically what we're trying to do with this episode is learn, you can learn a little bit more about the host. So check out the video where I interview Noah.
Yeah, and that was very photography centric, but photography is kind of my life at this point.
Yeah,
I just shot a wedding the other day.
Yeah, how did that go?
That went really well. They were pleased with the photos. Of course, I only had one lens for my new camera, but I used my old one. It went really smoothly. I got some great images. I'll have to show them to you.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I guess the goal of this episode is to get everybody to know me and even Noah a little bit more.
Yeah.
Because
show our personality a bit more, connect with you guys a bit more.
Yeah.
There's this one channel, Video Creators, with Tim Schmoyer, and they always talk about their whole thing is that they help creators, as you know, Leaf, grow on YouTube. And they are always talking about how you can have amazing production quality. You can have interesting titles, thumbnails, themes, whatever. But a lot of the reasons that people don't succeed on YouTube is that if the genre is suitable for it, they aren't personable enough.
Yeah.
Why a teenage girl in her bedroom with her phone filming her just talking about whatever is because that allows people to connect to the creator.
Yeah.
So connection can be important.
Well, think about it. LTT, Linus Tech Tips. It's not just always clean cut videos. I mean, obviously they crank those out, the reviews and everything, but there's a lot of behind the scenes, a lot about Linus.
There are bloopers. They're very open and real with you, so you get to see their personality.
Very joking about stuff. So yeah, that's why some of these podcasts will be a little bit weird.
Yeah, but like we said in the first episode, and I think maybe the second episode, or I don't remember at this point, but we've said it before in episodes, is that we want this to be a relaxed, pretty much discussion-based podcast. We don't want to just have a super formal interview all the way throughout. Of course, having interview questions for our guests or interviewees is important.
Yeah.
But having it very discussion based and open is also important to us.
And that's like when you interview somebody, I noticed say TV interviews, question, answer, next question.
Right.
If you then have the interviewer talk about experience that they've had about kind of answering their own question a bit, that adds to it, and I like that.
Yeah, but the thing with like TV and stuff is they have a time limit, and they just want to get as much value out of the interviewee as possible. Whereas we have however long we want, so we can respond to each other, we can expand on various points. We don't just have to go question. I tend to do that a little bit more than you do, but that is actually partly because of past experiences I have had with interviewing people. Where I was pressed for time and I had to create a video that was pretty much just question.
Oh yeah, and then editing when if your interviewer is talking a lot, editing that is so hard, and I hate that.
Definitely.
I'm like, shut up. Yeah. So, I guess people have gotten to know me a little bit more.
Yeah.
And we've got plenty of time. How long are we going right now?
We've been going for almost 50 minutes.
Okay. So I think at the end here, I'm going to shoot you a couple questions that are a little more personal, just more than
more than just photography oriented.
Yeah.
But right quick before you do that, I just want to plug again Patreon if you want to see that exclusive content. Last episode, we had some very enticing exclusive content for you supporters. Just go ahead and sign up. Even $1 a month helps, and if we get a few supporters, we'll be able to put this on podcast platforms such as Stitcher, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, etc., etc. And again, if you have any comments, suggestions, ideas, questions about or for the show, you can email us at ctwmailbox@gmail.com.
Yep, definitely do that. So, Noah.
Yes.
What are you going to college for?
Well, currently I am in high school still, so I'm taking courses at the community college part-time because of their program for high schoolers/homeschoolers such as myself.
Yeah.
I don't need to declare a degree yet. However, most of these classes I'm taking are all working towards getting an associate's in business because I want to be an entrepreneur of some sort. I don't know for sure if I want to do photography or if I want to do computers or website building or graphic design or whatever. Yeah. I want to keep my options open, but I definitely want to work for myself, have my own business.
Yeah.
And so a business degree is what's going to be most flexible. And if I decide later that I want to narrow down a bit more, then I may decide to get a degree in fine arts. But I'm going to take some random courses here and there outside the business degree in graphic design, in website design, maybe in photography.
Get some classes with Paul Angen. No, I know it might be hard too, especially with web design, because I know they're all tied to the new media degree. But I'll give you a little in there, because you got to take a class with Paul Angen.
I will do my best.
I almost said Paul Penguin. A great guy. Yeah, so you mentioned wanting to work for yourself. So is that something you've always wanted to do?
No, I don't think so. But in the past recent years, as I have been thinking about having a career, having a job, I've realized that unless it's just a job that I really like and I have a nice boss, I would like the flexibility of working for myself, doing my own thing. Yeah. And I like having the control. So more control over my finances, over the business itself. And it would make it feel like I have a little more control over my life. Of course, being an entrepreneur can mean less what's the word?
Security? Less.
When there's more variability, it's not as set.
Yeah, it's not set in stone. It's
what's the word? Oh my gosh, I'm having a major brain fart. It's more
comment down below.
Your income is gonna vary more.
Yeah.
It's not going to be set a set salary or set hours and pay per hour. And there's definitely less security there. Your job could suddenly just be gone if your business fails or gets shut down or whatever.
Yeah.
But I want the flexibility, like I've said, and there aren't that many jobs I can think of that would appeal to me where there would be a boss. I don't want to be confined to an office. I don't want to be confined to a cash register or making food at McDonald's.
Yeah.
Or whatever.
Yeah. Well, you'd probably be a manager at McDonald's, honestly. Anyhow, that working for yourself, I definitely want to start some businesses. Later on. Now, I'm going into the Army, which is like the ultimate control boss, you know.
Right.
But after I'm out of the Army, I know I gotta go somewhere. And well, if I stay in the Army long enough, I can get my master's, I can get my doctorate.
Yeah.
I can get a job in the government doing diplomatic or working for businesses, working with other countries. Anyhow, there are a couple of businesses that I want to start afterward, and the primary one is a bug farm.
You have been going on about this lately. What is with you and a bug farm?
So, bug farming, I actually want to find a host and do an episode about bug farming sometime in the future.
We will do it.
And mushroom farming. And I do have an uncle who has a mushroom factory or farm, whatever you want to call it. It's indoors. Bugs are a really good meat replacement. They use way less resources to produce than a cow or a pig.
Right.
So,
they're much more sustainable.
Yeah, or
and healthy.
You can recycle food scraps, feed the bugs, and make the bugs into feed for fish. So you can grow fish, which is also healthy meat. Sorry, guys, I just deafened you. So yeah, that's something that I want to start up afterward.
Very interesting. You will be the next. I'm trying to think of a prominent...
The next Rockefeller.
Well, I'm trying to think of a prominent environmentalist or someone who kind of changed society.
Like
Adam Smith kind of did with the whole economy thing.
Who's the... something Durrell. I know he was a zoologist, and
I don't think I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah. No, I like the Rockefeller. I'm gonna get mega rich off of my bugs.
Sure.
And then I also would love to start a grocery store. Now, this is a weird one. So
where you don't use plastic?
No plastic, and
so.
Everything's reusable. So you either get a paper bag, a hemp bag, like you could buy a hemp bag, glass.
So I hate to break it to you, but these things do exist.
I know, but...
you want to make it like big chain.
Yeah, I'd love to get
standard, a norm.
Like if I had enough money, I could even see buying up a business that already exists, tweaking it a bit, and then
you need a lot of money for that.
Oh yeah, well that's where my bug farm comes in, and a pension from the Army.
Yeah, the bug farm is gonna allow you to buy Wegmans. You're gonna make it nationwide, and it's gonna be completely sustainable. Good luck.
Buy Wegmans. Comment down below if you know, or give this a like if you know Wegmans.
Or even if you don't.
Yeah, even if you don't, just like the video.
Like
the video. There's subs. Oh. No, but with this grocery store, I would also do everything like in glass containers and then tons of raw stuff. So instead of selling packaged crap, like nobody needs Twinkies, Ho-Hos. You don't need Oreo cookies. You don't need packaged bread. Everything, if there's bread sold, it'd be made there.
Yeah, that's the thing. Bakery bread is amazing.
Bakery bread.
Bakery bagels.
Now there's some stuff that does need to.
Donuts.
Yeah.
Bakery bear claws. Croissants.
Croissants. Lobster tails. It's just like.
Not like you were gagging.
No, that's gonna be a meme soon.
Make it into a GIF, guys.
Yeah. Some things can't be produced at grocery stores, like cheese, yogurt, that sort of stuff. I mean, that's a dairy's work.
Right.
So you'd buy it from a dairy.
But the dairy farm would be an extension of the bug farm, and they would both supply the grocery store.
Yes.
Be a millionaire. never gonna happen.
The bug farm will happen probably. And I'd like to. I would actually. Once my uncle retires from the mushroom business, if I have money, I'd probably buy out his company, or his kids might buy it out. I don't know. We could do like a 3-way split. I don't know. Out to you. So. I think we've talked ourselves out. We've come to a natural end. I feel like an hour always works.
It does.
I don't know what it is. But thank you for watching to the end. If you have any suggestions, please email us at ctwmailbox@gmail.com. Again, any questions, comments,
ideas, suggestions,
whatever you want.
Whatever you want to say. If you just want to say hi, we will say hi back.
Yep, we'll send you a personalized video message if you want that.
And again, if you would like to support us and or get some exclusive content, then please consider donating on Patreon. Again, even $1 a month helps.
Yep, any amount helps. Nothing's too little. And I hope you've enjoyed episode 5. We will see you again next week for episode 6 about fitness. So stick around.
Let us know if you liked this slightly more relaxed discussion format towards the end, where we just kind of talk, say whatever comes to mind.
Yeah, and that can be emailed to us.
Or in the comments below, whichever you prefer. Thank you guys so much, and we will see you next week.
Yep, see you next week.